Assalamualaikum dear students, my name is Amir Hamza. In this video, I am going to explain one of the most interesting example of a question, that is Precis. This is lecture number 2 and you have to open your register and just write down the main points. They always remember, I am going to uh, dictate a paragraph to all of you, and what you have to do, you have to write it down and you have to solve it by yourself. And I will give you a pause, I will give you the beginning and the ending of that paragraph. So what you have to do, you have to solve the paragraph and then you have to play the video again just to check the solution. So just write a paragraph, that is I am going to start. So start writing. This is exercise number 1. We should face facts as they exist. We should face facts as they exist. We should face facts as they exist. We are multilingual. We are multilingual. It is true. And a very poor country too. And a very poor country too. The fear of getting employment or not getting employment springs out of that poverty of ours. Out of that poverty of ours. But once we took courage in both our hands, but once we took courage in both our hands and began to work, comma, poverty would vanish, comma, and then those languages which have created a narrow regional spirit, instead of being the curse that they seem to us today, comma, would function as magnificent vehicles of expression for the rich variety of cultural patterns, and modes of living, and thought that we have developed, let us hope that day dawn very soon. A regional language as the medium of instruction, can facilitate the process of education. It helps the child to learn with the ease and interest. But if it is the thrust on an unwilling minority, used to another allied language, it can vitiate the very process of education. Listen again. But if it is thrust on an unwilling minority used to another allied language, it can vitiate the very process of education. It is supposed to help and would create difficulties of a socio-political nature. It is supposed to help and would create difficulties of socio-political nature. So, it is the passage, and what you have to do, you have to pause the video and then you should try to solve this with these rules as I have already mentioned in my video. First of all, what you have to do, you have to understand the passage, you have to develop a clear understanding of the passage, and the second step, you have to underline the main points, and definitely the third step, what you have to do, you have to make a rough draft from those points, and you are not allowed to use first or second person. You can only deal with Precis in third person pronoun. Similarly, you are not allowed to use direct speech, but you have to do Precis in an indirect speech. The last instruction, that when you will be able to understand this passage, try to solve it uh, and make a clean draft, and then finally count the words, and it should be one third of your original passage. That's all about today's exercise, and I will provide the solution in the next video.